Bootcamp. But we're going to go ahead and get moving with our Vet Tech Info Session. We're going to dive into a little bit more about how the Learn Academy program works, where the Vet Tech kind of program fits into that, and we'll have some time to answer all of your questions as well. So I did kind of jump ahead the gun a little bit, but like I said, here's our schedule here. We're just going to kind of check in, go over what the prep courses are that are tied in with the vet tech. So you'll learn a little bit more about what those prep courses look like. We'll talk a little bit more about what the onboarding process looks like, what documents you need, your COE, the additional documents that we need here at Learn. We'll also dive into our program. We have some of our awesome staff members here joining us. We'll talk about our classroom, our internship program, what career services look like here with Learn, what after graduation looks like, and then we'll leave some time open to answer any questions. So as we're going through the presentation, please, like I mentioned, the chat's available. So we're going to be kind of diving through and answer your questions as we go, but we'll also have some time available to get your questions answered at the end. So just a couple pieces of housekeeping before we dive into our presentation. So one thing to mention here about Learn, and as we kind of talk about our code of conduct and the Zoom etiquette here, is that Learn, we are a safe and brave space, but this is still a public space. And we want to promote a spirit of inclusivity and make sure that we are welcoming, we are friendly, we're patient, and then we ask that everyone be respectful of each other. So we also ask that, like I mentioned, we want you to participate. We want you to engage throughout the presentation. Please ask questions. I'm glad to see a lot of you have your camera on. So if you don't, we'd love to see your awesome, beautiful faces. And when we also want to make sure we're doing this so we know that you're present. We know that you understand everything that's being covered. And just a quick piece of Zoom etiquette. As we're going through the presentation, just make sure that you're muted, so you're not talking during the presentation while we're going over some of this stuff. Like I mentioned before, we're going to answer all your questions at the end, but we'll have some staff here available right now in the chat. So if you have some questions as we're going along, please don't be afraid to pop it right into the chat as well. Cool. So one of the things that we do here at Learn as a way to start off our every single day that we do it inside of the classroom is we do what's called check-in. It's just a way to kind of see how you're doing, answer a funny question, and just kind of get the day moving. So what I'd love to do, and all the staff is going to participate as well, is just to go ahead and introduce yourself in the chat. I want to know where you live, and the question of the day is, what did you want to do when you were younger? So take a few seconds to kind of think about that and throw it in the chat, and then we'll kind of open the floor a little bit and give the opportunity for some people to share their answers. So again, my name is TJ. I'm the Director of Marketing Communication here at Learn, and I'm actually located here in San Diego. I'm born and raised San Diego. I'm almost, I think, third generation San Diego now, if you want to get down into the details. But what I wanted to do when I was young. So I am a huge history fan, and when I was young, that went especially towards dinosaurs. So being an archaeologist, being some kind of historian, Indiana Jones kind of thing was always something that I wanted to do when I was young. Kumba, how about you?
Thank you, TJ. I'm also here in San Diego, and I am the enrollment manager here at Learn. When I was younger, I used to love pageants, so in my mind, I wanted to be Miss America. I'm going to pass it off to Sarah.
Hi, everyone. My name is Sarah, and I'm the lead instructor here at Learn. I also live in San Diego, and when I was young, I wanted to be a veterinarian, but mostly because I just thought it was a person who played with animals all day long, and I'm glad that I did not pursue that particular line of work. I will pass it to Jake.
Hey everybody, my name is Jake. I'm the Career Services Manager here at Learn. When I live in San Diego as well. When I was younger, I wanted to be a doctor. I actually watched a knee replacement via Skype in high school and immediately passed out. So I realized I didn't have the stomach for anything related to the medical world. And so that kind of dashed my dreams of being in medicine, and then went the way of HR. So yeah. And I will pass it to Vanessa. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Vanessa. I'm born and raised in San Diego, but kind of lived all over. I'm currently working in hospitality. When I was younger, I wanted to be a nurse because that's what my mom did. I was an analyst when I was in the Navy, and so I'm hoping to get back into the tech analyst field. I did a jump start this past weekend, and that was an amazing experience, had a blast, and I'm looking forward to learning more.
Thank you, Vanessa. I appreciate you hopping in. We also have a staff member named Vanessa, so we're going to get all the Vanessas. No, it's all good. We're happy to have.
I think I did that last time too.
That same thing did happen last time. There's a lot.
What happened last time when I introduced?
I love it.
Sorry, guys. I guess I'll jump in real quick. I'm Vanessa. I'm the operations manager for Learn. When I was younger, I wanted to also be a vet. Just loved animals.
Awesome. Thank you for all of our awesome staff. I think that is everybody here. Did I miss anyone? We got a ton of people here tonight, so I think we did cover all of our staff members here. I do want to open the floor for anybody who would like to share as well. Thank you, Vanessa, for sharing yours. That was awesome. So everybody has the opportunity to unmute yourself. I know this could get a little crazy if we all do it at once, but if anybody wants to unmute themselves and share their answer, we'd love to hear it.
Hey, everybody.
Cool. Yeah.
I'm John.
First one, go right ahead.
I'm John from Tracy, California. I was in the Marine Corps for 4 years and just recently separated. What I wanted to do while I was younger, I wanted to get into the tech field. I guess I kind of knew it because of my mom. She was also in the tech field. She was a trainer. I forget exactly what for now, off the top of my head, but she highly encouraged I get into it as well. Well, at the time she just suggested computer engineering, but now I'm going down this route.
Wonderful. Thank you for sharing, John. We really appreciate it. I know there was, I think, one more person who was interested in sharing. The floor is yours. Please take it away.
Hi, my name is Prab. I live in San Diego. What I wanted to be when I was young was a scientist, and now I'm interested in coding.
I love it. Thank you, Prab. I really appreciate you sharing. So I do appreciate everybody who kind of hopped in. I mean, we're coming from all over the US. We've seen Washington, Chicago, San Diego. We're seeing the Navy, the Army. This is really awesome. You know, we're really excited to be a part of the Vet Tech program. We're really excited to have all of you veterans here. We've been really proud being a San Diego company to serve our veterans since we started in 2016. We've been a part of the Vet Tech program for just about a year now. And we're really excited to help all of you transition into this career path, looking into 2022 and beyond. So I'm going to go ahead and move to the next part of our presentation. And I am going to pass it off to our enrollment manager, Kuma Gill.
Thank you, TJ. Once again, good evening, y'all. Thanks for showing up. I know it's like for some folks, it's really late and others, you're probably getting off of work. So thanks for showing up. And just kind of to talk about just the structure of the program and how it works. Our program is a 4-month long live remote full stack web developer program, meaning for 3 months, you will meet and collaborate with your classmates and instructors inside our virtual classroom, similar to this, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And for the 4th month, you're going to participate in a 1-month remote coding internship where you get to really gain real world experience and mentorship at a tech company or a startup. Sarah will go into more details after this, as well as our career services manager will explore that too as well. So as I said, career services is something that's really vital to our program and occurs during the program and after graduation, and is designed to help you with the career search plan and help you with job placement. But I think one of the things that really makes Learn stand out from a lot of programs out there is just the community of support that we offer to our students, right? Where you know that folks are sacrificing a lot to give up 4 months of their lives to learn something. So we will guarantee we'll support you through that effort. So this way you're able to get the skills necessary to be effective once you get out of Learn. It's something that we are really strive to have a really close supportive community for all our students. Next to cover just kind of like the vet tech overview. I know there's some folks here that have been in the pipeline a little bit, some folks that are new to this, some folks that are applying right now. And just kind of give a little brief enrollment update on what's happening as of right now. We'll be making final enrollment decisions for our Bravo cohort on February 15th. The average class size is about 20 students. So you can imagine tonight there's over 50 right now, and that's not even half our applicants that are who submitted applications. So we're dealing with a ton of veteran applications and not that many spots. Individuals as of this point who have interviews scheduled after today will be considered for the Charlie cohort, which starts on May 9th. So that means you will also, for those folks who do not get a spot into our Bravo cohort that starts March 21st, you'll be placed on a wait list. And being placed on a wait list is not like you're not in purgatory or anything like that, because literally for many reasons, students drop out all the time. So if you meet all these requirements and you're placed on the wait list, there's a good chance that you can get off the wait list and get a spot offered to you. So it's not a place you're gonna go to essentially die. Just keep making sure that you're keeping yourself prepared and with regards to just the prep work that's going to be offered to you a little bit later here. Okay, and the interview process, kind of how that works. We like to think of it kind of similar to like a job interview, but I like to think of it as a conversation. It's really just to get to know you a little bit better, and just to how you're going to start the beginnings of your career path in this field, and just find out about the things that are important to you, your work habits, things like that. There's no right or wrong answer, but we will get to try to dive a little bit deeper into you as an individual. After that process is done, once you submit your application, you go through the interview process. Our enrollment committee will review all these applications. The application, the interview are some of the factors that we look at when we're making these enrollment decisions. As I said, right now, there's tons of, like probably over 150 applications in 20 slots. So we try to make sure that we can at least get students into one cohort or the other that meet certain qualifications. Once again, the enrollment decisions will be going out on February 15th for Bravo, and for Charlie, April 1st will be when those decisions will be submitted. To just cover kind of the logistics, one of the things that's required before we can even admit you into the program, you have to have a COE. That's, you apply through the VA to get that. It can take up to 30 days to receive that, but without that certificate of eligibility, we can't even begin the process of accepting you. And I know with some folks, there's some confusion. There's the post 9/11 certification, which we are not a provider of that program. So just be very mindful of the difference between the VECTEC certification and that post 9/11 GI Bill certification. You can always send it to me if you're not sure, and I'll look at it and review and let you know if this is the correct one or not. Okay. Once you've been admitted into the program and we start the onboarding process, one of the things that's really important is we have to collect your social security number to be able to upload that information in VA once. And that will happen during the onboarding process. It's typically about 30 days prior to the class. They do not allow us to submit that any earlier than that, prior to 30 days. One of the things that happens in, unfortunately, some vets are not aware about this, but we try to make this very clear. If your information is uploaded in VA once, and the VA processes your COE and they send you an award letter saying, welcome to this program, we're going to pay your tuition. If you decide to drop out of the class after the first day of class, you will have to wait 18 months before you can access Vet Tech again. So once again, if you get uploaded in VA once, they send you an award, a congratulations award letter, and you attend the first day of class and you decide this is not the right program for me, you would forfeit your Vet Tech benefits for 18 months. So definitely be sure. We have some other ways that you can definitely find out if this is for you or not. Our program right now is 100% remote, which means that your BAH will be paid at the online remote rate. We do not qualify for any waivers that may apply to that because we're no longer an in-person program, we're a 100% online program. Now, we do not know what those rates are. You're gonna have to talk to the VA directly to find out the difference. So this way you can kind of, if you decide to proceed forward, you know what your budget is gonna be and you're able to prepare yourself for whichever cohort that you're accepted into, okay? To talk a little bit just about onboarding. Once a student is accepted into the program, we start the onboarding process. Now, onboarding is a requirement. It requires certain documentations from you, like your personal information, required prep work, tutorials, signing up for the instructor one-on-one, getting signed up for our Slack communication channels, your high school diploma, laptop pickup. So these are some of the things that are covered in onboarding. And we will send you lots of communication via email, text. So making sure you're checking those emails, checking your spam email so that you make sure it doesn't go there, and responding in a timely manner is something that's really, really important, because if we don't get back certain documentations, we will rescind your admissions if you are accepted and we don't hear from you within a reasonable amount of time, okay? All right, and one of the things that's required for all students that are admitted into the program is a prep course called Jumpstart. Our next prep course happens February 21st to 23rd, and then in March. It's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday course. It's about 20 hours of prep work. It's to make sure that, you know, coding is for you, right? To see how Learn works, to be able to meet your instructors and your classmates from around the countries, because these are the folks you're going to spend the next 4 months of your life with. And sometimes y'all maybe get hired at the same employer if your internship turns into employment opportunities. So just to kind of get a good feel of everything, make connections. But I think the most important thing is just getting all those fundamentals under your belt so you can hit the ground running and be successful in the full-time course. So Jumpstart is something that we require for all enrolled students to participate in. And if you can, even if you are in a cohort, if you can do Jumpstart, it's not a bad thing to get extra prep before your cohort starts, okay? All right, I'm gonna stop right there and turn it over to Sarah.
Yay. Wonderful. Well, yeah, just want to thank you guys all for joining us this evening. We're really, really excited to have so many people interested in our program. My role is kind of overseeing all things classroom related at Learn. So I just want to talk briefly about the expectations in the classroom at Learn, both from what you can expect from us and what we expect from our students. So to start with, we're a very collaborative and caring environment. Those are top-down core values at Learn. So that means that in the classroom, we strive to create a space where all of us, instructors, students, Learn staff, community members, all of us as a group of humans are working together and supporting each other and helping everybody move forward on their learning journey. Go to the next slide, TJ. Because if you don't know it yet, learning coding is really freaking hard. And nobody came into this world knowing how to talk to computers. And the thing about life is that you can't be good at something until you are bad at it first. So it's really important to us that we create this space where you're allowed to be bad at something that's really hard, and that's okay, because that's a really, really important part of the process, is that you have to work through the struggle. It's what this industry is all about. Your job will be problem solving, and nobody is just innately good at that. We have to learn the techniques. Go to the next one. So in order to, for us to create this space where everyone in the team needs to commit to the process. So we need reliability. You got to show up every day. You got to be on time. You got to do the work. We expect your shining face in class 9 to 5, Monday through Friday for 16 weeks. We work in the Pacific time zone. And so just setting that expectation up front, like we expect you to be here. You have to show up, you have to engage, you have to be uncomfortable, you have to ask for help, and you have to take the time to help others, because growth happens and learning happens during the hard parts. Right, TJ, next one. So there's a stereotype among developers that we're all a bunch of nerdy introverts who only wear black hoodies and drink a coffee by the pot and Red Bull by the case and live in your mom's basement and never talk to people. But that's not entirely true, because I have hoodies that are lots of different colors. But in communication and talking to people part is actually kind of a big shock to people who come into dev work. We think of it as being the thing that you sit in your basement alone and work by yourself, but coding is language, and it's communication. And to be a truly effective developer, you have to be an excellent communicator, and you have to be able to communicate ideas to other humans as well as to your computer. And so to perfect this practice, to grow in this space of communication, we do a lot of pair programming, which is 2 students working together on a single project. And to collaborate effectively in this way, we need all of the technologies that we work with to match and versions to be the same. And so we set up computers for you, and we do require that you use this computer. So it just is ensuring that we're all operating on the same type of systems. All of the technologies are running the same way, and it just makes it easier for us to all bug fix something if there's an error that happens. If it happens on one computer, it's likely to happen on another, and we know how to go in there and fix it. Right, next. So in my time at Learn, I've worked with well over 200 students, and I've consistently seen that the people who get the jobs the fastest are not necessarily the people who are the best developers in their cohort. It's the people who have a really good attitude and who have really good communication skills, and are people who are committed to the grind, committed to the process of learning, who become excellent at being problem solvers, and people who are genuinely excited about the industry. Like, that's the thing that's going to really dictate success in the long run. If you are worried that you're like, oh, I'm not like going to be the best developer in the class, that's okay. Like, that really isn't indicative of success as much as it is being committed. So showing up every day, committing to the process, and committing to your team. And that's what I got for y'all. Thanks.
Thank you, Sarah. And now we're going to pass it off on to Jake, who is our Career Services Manager. He's going to touch on our internship program and what it looks like after graduation.
Thanks, TJ. Part of the program at Learn consists of a 1-month internship that's guaranteed to each person that joins the program. So after 3 months in the classroom, you get the opportunity to spend 1 month working as a developer, which is a really cool hands-on experience to take what you just learned and practice it in a different kind of context. A lot of times this means working with new technology, stuff that we didn't necessarily teach in the classroom, but gives you an opportunity to kind of expand your skill set, and also gives you the opportunity to understand what working dynamics look like, and how that differs from what the classroom dynamic looks like as well. So another cool thing about this is that you have the opportunity to be hired by your internship company. Some companies partner with us as a way to do almost an extended interview process for some junior level developers for their team as well. But I think more so than anything, the 1-month internship is really geared towards giving you more things to talk about and put on your resume, as well as projects that you can put into your portfolio and things that really make you a more marketable candidate in the job market as well. So a ton of good things that come from this internship side of the house that we help organize as the last month of your 4-month program here with Learn. And then after the cohort, so our time together consists of a couple different things. So during your time in the classroom, I spend 1 week as the instructor, and we'll go through a professional development curriculum that's geared towards helping you market yourself as part in the job market. Another part of that, of how we'll work together, is obviously the internship. And then after the cohort, and after your time with Learn ends, you have access to career services for life. One of the things that I like to also mention here is our program isn't necessarily built out for veterans only. So there are folks that are going to be part of the program here that aren't veterans. That doesn't mean that we don't do anything to support you specifically as veterans. So Kumba and I and the rest of the team kind of pull some resources and help you work with the VA, as well as just other resources that are more veteran specific for you throughout your time, not only in the program, but after you finish the program. So every person who joins the Learn Academy cohort here has access to career services for life. So that doesn't necessarily mean that we help you get to that first job and then we stop working with you. You're free to come back and work with me and the team here throughout your journey as a developer. So maybe after a couple years, you're looking for a jump into that mid-level or senior role. Again, you can reach back out to me and schedule time with me to help you on that job search and help answer questions throughout your career that might pop up.
Wonderful. Thank you, Jake. And thank you to all of our awesome team. That was a very informative presentation. And I hope it answered a lot of your questions and gave you all a better idea of how the Vet Tech program works with Learn and how it interacts with our 4-month program. So now that we've entered the final stage of our presentation here, I'm going to open the floor to any questions that we didn't get answered throughout the presentation by any of you. You can direct message us through the chat if you want to get your question answered there. Similar before, you also have the opportunity to unmute yourself. So if you'd like to real quickly, maybe just pop in your question, you're more than welcome to do that. So we had a quick question here from Adrian Davey asking us about what the percentage of jobs after graduation look like. Jake, do you mind just kind of touching on that real quick?
Sure. So typically we see people getting jobs about a little over 70%, between 70 and 75% of folks who complete the program are placed in the field. Other folks continue on to different things like other bootcamp programs or other types of industries or periphery type of roles as well. But I would say typically about 75% of grads move on to roles. And typically it takes, just to answer another question that usually comes up as well, it typically takes folks anywhere from 30 to 90 days to land in that new role after completing the program.
Wonderful. Thank you, Jake. And while I have you here real quick, we had a question from Timothy just asking about the internship program and for people who are outside of San Diego. Does the internship program work for people maybe not in California?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think that's a great question. So the internship program, we follow and mimic the exact same hours that are part of the classroom. So the expectation that's set with all partner companies that we work with, again, not all of those are based in San Diego. Some are based in different parts of the country as well. But we set the expectation that they can expect to work with our interns during those core hours. So the hours that you work on the internship are the exact same hours that are part of the classroom too. So 9 to 5 from a Pacific standpoint. And again, that's something that we work out with the internship partners regardless of where they are. So the time that you'll work will be the same thing.
Thank you, Jake. I appreciate that information. Kumba, can I ask you a quick question? We're getting a few people asking some questions about the BAH rate. I know Congress passed some recent information about some programs where that kind of updated if they were qualified for the in-person or the online rate. Can you just clarify that a little bit on why that doesn't qualify for us?
Yeah, so that does not qualify for us because we're no longer an in-person program. As of January 2022, Learn is completely an online program. So that act only works for programs that are in person. So that's why we would not qualify for the in-person rate.
Excellent. Thank you, Kumba. I hope that answers your question, Keelan. Please respond back in the chat if you have any other additional points to add there. I know we had a question come in from Connor Haley about the DoD Skill Bridge program. So that it is something that we are looking to, and hopefully we can get forward into that program within 2022. We haven't officially applied for it yet, but that is on our radar. So we're trying to get into that program as well. I know there are so many awesome veterans programs available that are, throughout the whole veteran community. We're part of the VRAP program, which is another really great program, the Vet Tech program, and then we are looking into the DoD Skill Bridge program as well. Cool. So I know DeWitt did ask just a quick question about our jobs being local. One of the great things about being a developer now is remote positions are the new thing. So just because you, for example, we are located in San Diego and our program is remote, but that doesn't mean you can only look for jobs in San Diego. What's awesome is I know we have people from Chicago and Washington, and that allows you to kind of look to jobs out kind of your locale.
And to add to that also, part of working with me in career services, we help set you up with a job search plan at the end of your time, which is really a structured way to go about the job search. That's built out, customized to each student, and not necessarily like a one size fits all approach. And one of the things that we take into consideration is things like areas where you might live. So try to give you local networking resources and other things that are more catered towards specifically what you're looking to get out of the program.
I have a question for you.
Yeah, please go right ahead.
How you going? My name is Matthew. My question would be, if there's only 20 slots in a cohort, what is Learn's average vet slotting? Because I know this is a pilot program. So if there's only 20 slots, you have the local community, or you have regular civilians trying to apply as well. If there's 50 of us in this meeting right now, 20 spots available, you got to take into account, not all of them are going to be veterans. So what's my percent, or what would you guesstimate my ability to get into this cohort, any cohort this year? Because I know you guys have quotas, you know what I mean? Like, well, we got to have 20% of our cohort as veterans for whatever tax reasons, la-di-da-di-da. And I know you guys only get paid the last 50% of the tuition upon employment. So I know you guys have to do some calculations for yourself to keep the Learn going, which it looks like a good program and I want in. So I'm just wondering, if there's 20 slots, there's 50 of us in this meeting, we might not all get in to your program. So what's your average veteran vet tech percentage per cohort?
Yeah, great question, Matthew. I do appreciate you unmuting yourself and answering that. So to dive into that, so vet tech and the VA in general caps a ratio of no more than 80% per cohort, and that includes vet tech. And we're also part of the VRAP program, which is another veteran program, and that would include Skill Bridge if we were in that. So we are capped at a certain percentage. Now our cohorts are 20 students. For our alpha cohort that is starting here in the next week, we have around 12 vet tech students. For our Bravo cohort that is starting here on the 21st, we're looking for around 15 vet tech students. And as long as vet tech still has funding, we're looking anywhere around that 12 to 15 number per cohort. So it just kind of depends how many civilians we also get in, how many people through the vet tech program. So like you did say, Matthew, there is kind of a balance that we have to play with. We have to, not all of our slots can be allocated to vet tech. So we do try to accommodate as many people as possible. So for people who are in the enrollment process now, have been in the enrollment process, have just got in, our biggest recommendation is stay in the enrollment process. If you applied, for example, for our Bravo cohort starting on the 21st, some of you have just been notified that you now are going to be moved to our Charlie cohort. That is because, like you see, our program is very popular, and we're trying to accommodate all the people who we have already met with since the first of the year and before. So we're trying to accommodate as many veterans as we can. So if you are in the enrollment process, stay in now. That will allow you to get your interview, your application, and attending a TEC Info Session out of the way, which all of you are here now. So those are the three main things that you need to do to be qualified. And then from there, we as a staff take into account your application and your interview and provide a weighted score, and our enrollment committee comes together and makes decision on those slots. So we try to accommodate as many people as possible throughout 2022. For those who are just here, just getting started, apply if you have not applied already. If you have applied and have an interview scheduled, please keep that interview and please attend the interview on that date, because if you have to reschedule, if something happens, then you kind of get pushed a little bit farther down the line, unfortunately, just because we're meeting with people every single day. So funding is, there's roughly, I think, around $20 million left in TEC funding for the 2022 year. They've spent around $34 million. So there is funding left. And, we don't know when that funding is going to run out. It's just TEC for the VA, they will let us know when that is starting to happen. And, that's just kind of what that happens. And then TEC funding comes back in October. So their fiscal year is October through October. They've been spending the 2022 money since October. So it's been going from October all the way through now. Probably sometime into late spring, early summer is when we kind of expect that to kind of transition out for 2022, and then it'll kick back in October. So
thank you. I appreciate your answer.
Yeah, of course. I hope that answers all of it. If you have any follow-up, please let me know. Cool. Go ahead. Anybody?
Okay. Yeah, it's not a semi-related question. Sorry, my camera's not on. I'm driving.
No worries.
In regards to enrolling potential for the Bravo cohort, I started the enrollment process last summer, but I was waitlisted because the VA could not issue me an updated COE, and they finally just did 2 days ago. Because there's been a bit of a gap. It's been like, what, 8-9 months. Can I still theoretically be considered for the Bravo cohort, or is it strictly Charlie for me?
Yeah, for the Bravo cohort running, that is going to be difficult, but if you could please reach out to Kumba, maybe offline here today. We'll I know you've been in this process already. We do want to give you a little more personalized answer offline here and kind of see what your situation looks like.
Sure. And a secondary question. I was curious, do you track metrics for how many out-of-state graduates get jobs in the local San Diego region? I know you have the 33% program graduates and 88% internship stats. I just don't know if you capture out-of-state at all.
Yeah, that's a really great question. So for people who are out of state getting jobs in San Diego, I don't think I have that metric on hand. Jake, can you add anything to maybe like, do you see a lot of out-of-state people applying to jobs in San Diego, or do you see them really kind of looking jobs nationally?
I think typically we see people looking for jobs nationally. A lot of times when we find folks that are like hired by their internship company or who generally network through the Learn community, those folks tend to find jobs more San Diego centric. But yeah, I think we haven't really compiled the numbers on what that looks like from an out-of-state perspective yet. But that's a really good thing to think about, and something we should definitely start to dig into a little bit more.
Yeah, because part of I'm actually considering, part of my reason for considering this program was to try to get a foothold in the San Diego market, because I'm on the East Coast, and I'm not gonna lie, part of it is also hours. They're more compatible with me, so just kind of wondering if, but yeah, it's good to know though. Thanks.
Excellent. Thank you for your questions, Ronnie. Really appreciate it. So,
and there's about was it 12 states represented TJ in the last cohort? So that is a realistic possibility. We had about 12 states represented.
yeah, exactly. I think you're right there. I mean, our previous cohort is about 12 states. We're up to, I think, close to 25, 30 states for learners all across the country. So the ability to take our program from an in-person program is where we started to a fully remote program to what it is now is really awesome, because it's opened a lot of doors for people, not just in San Diego, to now people all across the country, which is something that we're really proud about. Cool. So this is the final stage of our presentation. I hope we were able to answer all of your questions. If we weren't, please, last chance, last call. Otherwise, you can reach out to us offline, LinkedIn, through our website chat, our phone. Most of you have Kumba's information as well. We're really easy to get a hold of, so please just reach out to us if you have any additional questions. And just a couple more pieces of house cleaning. We are recording this presentation. I am going to upload it to our YouTube channel, so I'll send this out as an additional resource for everybody who wants to watch it some more. We have Jumpstart, like we mentioned, coming up in the end of the month and in March. So as a thank you for joining us, we're going to send you a little promo code to send to join us at Jumpstart. I recommend it even if you don't get into the program. Jumpstart is a great way just to see if coding is for you. So it's a great way just to see, is this something for me? What does the program look like? And also learn some really great skills. We're going to teach you how to build a website from the ground up and then deploy it to the internet so you can take it and show it off to all your friends. So it's a really cool event. All right. Well, thank you all for joining us tonight. I really do appreciate it. Again, please reach out to us if you have any additional questions, and we look forward to seeing you all at some point in one of our cohorts. So thank you all for joining us. Have a great rest of your evening.